Hello, scholars, and welcome to Math with Mr. Ray. So, um, today's homework is going to be like a little review of things that we've done and some things that we're doing currently. So, um, when we're dividing decimals, whole numbers by decimals, the first thing you want to understand is you want to identify your dividend and your divisor. So as I go through these steps, I'm going to be also working so that you can understand what to do. Identify dividend and divisor, right? So the dividend is the total, right? And the divisor um is outside of the house, right? The dividend is the total, and you're splitting groups of 7/10, right? So after we do that, analyze divisor and convert into whole number. So we notice that this divisor, right? This divisor is 7/10, and it's really difficult to share groups of 7/10. So we must convert it into seven wholes. Now, in order to convert this into seven wholes, you have to multiply it by 10. And what you do to the divisor, you have to do to the dividend. So 7. And so you see how I put that extra zero there. Now, list multiples and divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. Okay? So my multiples of 7 is 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 60. It's this divided by this, cover, up, back, up, got enough. Yes. Give the man a seat, count past 7, don't pass up 7, go. 7, stop. A 1 pops up. 1 times 7 is 7. Hook your line, subtract, 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 subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0. Pull down the shade. 7 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 9 is 7. 2, 2, 7 goes into 21. 3 times minus 1. 7 goes into 10 one time. Now, once the decimal point goes, you need to have more. So then you have 30. 7 goes into 30 four times. So we'll just leave it at that, right? So this is what we need to do. Now I want you to think about this, right? This as a fraction is 0. 35 hundredths over 0 and 3 hundredths, right? You got to ask yourself, what can you do to turn this into a whole number? That's too hot. So what power of 10 are you going to multiply it by on both sides to create what you're going to actually divide by? Okay. Here is a little different because if the divisor is a whole number and dividend is decimal, just raise decimal point up. So for example, in 8 and 8 tenths divided by 2, you can see your decimal point, you just raise that up. 2 goes into 8 4 times, so 8 goes into 8 4 times. You see that? Do another one. Raise your decimal point up. 4 goes into 0. 4 can't go into 0. 4 goes into 8. 2 times 4. You see that? Okay. Make sure you complete these. Complete the rest of these. Well, we know this is 4 and 4 tenths, and this is 2 tenths. You just got to do these two. Now, we've been working with algebra, right? And we've been trying to determine, how to look at these number sentences to determine what's actually happening, right? But this is like story problem. So I'm going to go over two and you will do the rest. So the first thing you want to do is read. Then you want to annotate important info. Then after you annotate important info, you want to create expression or equation. Then you want to solve. So Natalie buys organic almonds priced at $77. So we're talking about organic almonds and it costs $77. Okay. How much did she pay the cashier if she received $20 in change? So I analyze the important information. So you want to make sense of what you just read. So $77. What happened? Right? So an item costs $77. And then she gave money. And after she gave a certain amount of money and paid $77, she received $23 in change. Do you see how X minus 77 equals 23? Because in order to get change, you have to subtract the $77. But what did we not know? We don't know how much she paid the cashier. So this represents how much she paid cashier, right? And then to solve it, you use inverse operations to separate the X or the isolate the X. That cancels out. So that means she paid the cashier $100. All right, let's see if we can find another one. Look at this one. Because we want to be able to analyze multiple different ones. So, okay. Smith and his friends, okay, are gaming online on a popular website. An hour later, 6 friends go offline. So in an hour, 6 friends offline. Okay. Online. 5 continue playing. How many were gaming online initially? So that means like there's a total, right? So in total, we got to figure out how many students were there initially. So there are 6 friends. 6 friends were gaming. Oh, an amount. So I would say X minus 6 equals 5. Why? Because there was a total amount of students, right? And then an hour later, 6 leave. That's the negative, the minus. And then it ends up with 5. Add 6 to both sides. How many of them were gaming initially? So 11 students were gaming initially. So I think one of the biggest things is to analyze what's happening in the scenario, right? What does the 6 represent, right? What does the 5 represent? And how can we build some type of equation around it? So I want you to try the rest on your own, and let's see what we get. Bye.